Hello everyone, my name is Aishwarya and my today's topic is the endocrine system. So endocrine system is the ductless system which lack of the glands, and they secrete their secretions directly into the blood. These secretions is called as the hormones. Hormones are the non-nutrient chemicals which can act as the neurotransmitter and give the stimulation into the endocrine system. The number of the glands are present. The first is the pituitary gland, hypothalamus, pineal gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, uh, thymus gland, pancreas, and adrenal gland. Along with that, also the liver, gastrointestinal tract, salivary gland, and gallbladder, pancreas all also act as the accessory or the um, um, gonadotrophins also act as the endocrine glands. So let's talk about the then there is the then there is the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is the main for the synthesis and secretion of the hormones, and also controls the secretion of the hormones from the pituitary gland. The hypothalamus produce the two types of the hormones, that is the releasing hormone and the inhibiting hormone. The example of this is the gonadotropin releasing hormone increase the growth hormone of the human, but the somatotropin from the pituitary gland inhibit the growth hormone or the inhibit the growth. So this is the inhibitory hormone. The hormone synthesized into the hypothalamus is forwarded into the pituitary gland by the portal circulation system. There are the two lobes, the posterior uh, and the anterior lobe of the hypothalamus of the pituitary gland. Into the posterior, the anterior lobe is uh, contain the pituitary gland, and the posterior part is directly control of the hypothalamus. What is the function of the hypothalamus? The hypothalamus is mainly responsible for the production of the hormones and the control of the secretion of the hormone from the pituitary gland. They produce the vasopressin and the oxytocin. The vasopressin is responsible for the water reabsorption from the uh, nephron and the distal convoluted tube and the ducts. So the reabsorption of the water and the fluid balance is maintained by this hormone. Also the hypothalamus is responsible for the heat temperature maintenance in our body. When there is the internal temperature of our body is low, then it increases by vasoconstriction, shivering and increase the metabolic rate. When there is the increase in the temperature, then the metabolic rate is decreases and the vasodilation is occur. So also it is responsible for the sleep wake up cycle and the our diurnal rhythm of our body. Also the hunger and the thirst, all of this for the is responsible for the hypothalamus. So now the endocrine system is divided into the pituitary gland is divided into the adenohypophysis and the neurohypophysis. The adenohypophysis is converted into the two types, that is the pars intermedia and the pars distalis, and the posterior neurohypophysis contain the pars nervosa, and which is responsible for the production of the hormone vasopressin and the oxytocin. The vasopressin is for the water retention or the water reabsorption from the body. Also there is the oxytocin is responsible for the contraction of our muscles, which is mainly act when there is the contraction of the uterus is needed at the time of the birth. Also the enlargement of the breast is done by the oxytocin. The diabetes insipidus is done when there is no proper action of the vasopressin. Now let's talk about the what are the hormones secreted by the pars. um, distal is from there is the pineal growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, um, growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, and the luteinizing hormone. These hormones are secreted. Also the from the pars intermedia there is the melanocyte stimulating hormone is secreted. Um, let's talk about the uh, pineal gland is responsible for the secretion of the melanin, and the melanin is responsible for the color of the hair and the skin of our body. Also the melanin is responsible for the melanocytes melanin production. Then there is the thyroid gland is into the thyroid gland there is the thyroid stimulating hormone responsible for the production of the T3 and the T4. And for that the iodine is very important. If the deficiency in the iodine, it is the then the then the hypo hypoglycemic goiter is happen, that is the enlargement of the thyroid gland thyroid gland. Then there is, if the iodine is more in our diet, then there is the goiter is form due to the hyperthyroidism. Also there behind the thyroid gland there is the parathyroid gland is responsible for the there is the this is the hypercalcemic and the reabsorption of the this is responsible for the calcium level into the blood, that is the parathyroid stimulating hormone. And uh, when they act on the absorption of the calcium into the bones and the teeth and increase the calcium level into the blood. uh, then there is the thymus gland, which is there are the four lobes of the thymus gland which is present on the sternum. The thymus gland responsible for our immunity, and this is responsible for the production of the T lymphocytes, and also the production of the T lymphocytes is the cell mediated immunity, and the B lymphocyte is the production of the antibodies against the foreign substances, that is the B lymphocytes. So thymus gland is very important. After that there is the adrenal gland present on both the kidney. They contain the adrenal medulla and the adrenal cortex, which is the outer layer. Adrenal cortex is responsible for the production of the aldosterone and the cortisol. Aldosterone is responsible for the water and the sodium balance in our body. Also adrenal gland responsible for the renin-angiotensin mechanism. Also the cortisol, the adrenal gland mainly produces the adrenocorticoid and the adrenocorticoids and mineralocorticoids, which is responsible for the minerals and the carbohydrate metabolism if on our body. Cortisol is also responsible for the RBC cell production. Also there is the pancreas have the both function, that is the exocrine and the endocrine. The endocrine function is the production. There are the millions of the Langerhans cells present into the pancreas, which act as the endocrine part, and they are responsible for the alpha and the beta cells, that is the beta cells produce the insulin, and insulin is responsible for the sugar level in our body. Also when there is the increase in the sugar level, they stimulate the cells of the body to take the insulin from them, from the sugar take the glucose from the blood. So the glucose level will be maintained. Also there are the alpha cells which are called as the glycogen glucagon is also responsible for the maintenance of the blood sugar level. Also there is the luteinizing hormone and the follicle stimulating hormone. In the luteinizing hormone in the females work as the ovulation of the matured Graafian follicle, and also the maintenance of the corpus luteum, and the progesterone, the luteinizing hormone into the male acts as the stimulate the spermatogenesis. Also there is the follicle stimulating hormone. The follicle stimulating hormone into the females is responsible for the production of the estrogen, and in the male it's production of the androgen and the secondary sexual characters into the both. Also there is the growth hormone. When there is the growth hormone is decreased, then it is called as the gigantism, and increase is called as the cretinism. This is happening to the baby when there is the increase in the growth hormone into the adult. Then there is the acromegaly type of the diseases happen. The symptoms of the disease are not early seen, but when this is got chronic, the symptoms are seen, and if not checked early, then death can be caused. So this is the endocrine system, which is a very important part of our body. There are also liver and the liver and the gastrointestinal tract is important for the into the gastrointestine. There are the gastrin secretin hormones are secreted. These all are the part of the endocrine system. Thank you.